message is your film sending to the public that they might not be getting from the mainstream media?
I think the core message is that the Tea Party movement is a populist movement, but it's the first populist movement, a center-right populist movement that has been led principally by women. I mean, Fire from the Heartland is the second film in our Tea Party trilogy. Generation Zero was first, about the financial meltdown. And while making Generation Zero, it became very obvious to me, spending all this time with the Tea Party, that through the inspiration of Sarah Palin, Governor Palin, and people like Michelle Bachmann, that you had a whole new cadre of heretofore apolitical women who had gotten tremendously engaged in the political process. And as we saw on Election Day, that had huge implications. And so Fire from the Heartland was really inspired by these women and their engagement. And I think the mainstream media has gone out of its way, and particularly the leftist media has gone out of its way to demonize these women and to demonize their participation in the process. So the central thing was to let these women in their own voice speak for themselves and let people, judge their commitment and their dedication to the country.
Okay, how has the media treated your film so far?
It's been very interesting. Is that it's been hugely embraced by the right, by the sites you would imagine, the Breitbart sites and Smart Girl Politics, and it's been vilified by the left. I mean, if you go on the blog sites, it's very analogous to if you track Governor Palin and Congressman Bachmann and other public figures like Diane Clohesy, Michelle Malkin, those women that we have in this film that are already known commentators. If you look at what the left, at these the misogynist comments that are made, that are absolutely horrific about these women, it's the same thing on the film. I mean, we put up a 2-minute trailer that is, I think, a terrific trailer. It's gotten a lot of attention. It went viral, and the left picked up on that trailer right away to go after these women and to go after them in a personal way. I mean, the thing on the left is not to attack us on our ideas or not to debate us on the facts. What they do is they go after this politics of personal destruction. And I've seen this in Fire from the Heartland, where they actually go after these women as people, not to debate or not to have not to talk about what they're actually saying in the film. Some lefty bloggers actually took the film and had a wine and cheese party and actually tweeted snarky comments. They watched the entire film and had 250 tweets of just snarky comments of what the women's hair was like and what how they were dressed and how they comported themselves. I mean, it was like Mean Girls in high school, right? But that tells you they did not, in the entire time in the film, there were very few comments debating the content of what these women were talking about, whether it was policy, whether it was about Judeo-Christian values, whether it was about what their fundamental beliefs are. So I've noticed that they don't take on the substance, but they take on the superficial.
Also, are you trying to reach out to the general public, even those who might be watching just the mainstream media? And if so, what is your strategy for that, since the mainstream media isn't treating your films very fairly?
Yeah, well, the mainstream media, I think the mainstream media, I wouldn't say they're not treating the films unfairly. What they'd rather do is just not discuss it. We're actually coming out and releasing the picture now after the election we wanted to let it breathe more. And to get caught up in the election, the third film in the trilogy, Battle for America, focused on November 2nd. So the second film we're coming out. I made this film not for partisans. I made this film to actually allow women in the Tea Party movement and allow conservative voices like Ann Coulter and Michelle Malkin and Congressman Bachmann. And we talk, and we have Phyllis Schlafly in the film, who's one of the foundational members of the conservative movement. So, and we tell their stories, right, of Phyllis Schlafly and Claire Booth Luce and Margaret Thatcher. But I made it in a way so that independents or even women who are Reagan Democrats can see this film and actually say, you know what, for all the media's told me of how villainous these women are or how crazy these women are, right, which is the way they try to define it. When you see the film and you disintermediate the media and let the women tell their own stories, it's quite powerful. And so I really made this for independents, not for partisans. And so in the screenings we've had so far, you know, we've taken this throughout the country so far, and it's had tremendous you know, response from women who are not otherwise politically engaged, because they've seen what has driven the women in the Tea Party movement to get off the sofa, to put down the remote control, and to get engaged. And so our strategy now after November is to really take this film out, put it in theaters, and do a full release in this film. You know, it's selling a video today at Citizens United, the studio that made it, citizensunited.com. But to take this film out and really get a full showing of it, and to let women in the middle see this film and let them come to their own conclusions.
I noticed that a lot of mainstream media is calling your films right-wing propaganda, and I was just wondering, how do you feel about the word propaganda, and would you like to respond to that?
I actually kind of wear it as a badge of honor. You know, I'm a conservative filmmaker, and I'm known as you know, I've done a big Reagan war film, and I've done now the Tea Party trilogy. I'm very proud of coming at this. I'm not looking to be even-handed when I do these. I'm looking to actually have a point of view, and to come at this from a strong point of view. And I am a partisan, and I think I've done that to engage people. I think the people that call it propaganda are guys on the left that don't like the fact that culturally conservatives are now trying to take control of the culture and trying to fight back. So if I'm called a right-wing propagandist, then you know, I can't. What I want is the films to have a broader audience than just guys on our side of the football, and I think we're seeing that. I think we see that in Generations. Generation Zero has been the most watched special on Fox News in the history of the network. The Fire from the Heartland is getting a huge audience out there of people in the middle. So the mainstream media can call me a right-wing propagandist, but as long as the films are powerful and have an impact, and you know, it stirs them up to fight back. Remember, in this business, you only know your effectiveness by how much they attack you. I mean, that's one of the things I noticed in making the film about the women. Governor Palin, Congressman Bachmann, Ann Coulter, the women, Jenny Beth Martin, these women of the Tea Party movement, they are an existential threat to the progressive, you know, apparatus's narrative of victimization, right? And so they run totally counter to that narrative, and that's why they're an existential threat to that, and that's why they're so vilified, that's why they're so attacked, because they realize, and you could see on the election results the other day, when the American people really have access to this and really see this unvarnished with a spin from the mainstream media, they're actually very attracted to these ideas, and they're very attracted to these people. They find these people very engaging, they find them just like themselves, they find them good folks, and they believe in what they say. And so that's why the vilification, whether you're a conservative filmmaker or you're a political figure like Congressman Bachmann, or a cultural figure like Governor Palin, you'll find that the more viciously you're attacked, shows that, and the more they're trying to put you in a box, shows that you're being effective. So that's why I wear it as a badge of honor.